your 42 years as the Jeep, you could not have been here all that time, but still you are managing it now. What have you seen on the ground, the highs and the lows in this kind of work?
In 1982, when they had a lot of information, a lot of news over radios, over television, newspapers, that in Ethiopia they had a very serious drought, which drought was partially or majorly due to environment degradation. So when they knew that they could do something, they started discussing how they could help Ugandans to take care of the environment, at the same time using it wisely. So they looked at the major problems which were similar to those in most of African countries. Number one was cooking, because traditional stoves take a lot of wood, which means cutting a lot of trees. Number two, they looked at wood industry, kind of factories or industry, those brick making, warrage brewing, fish smoking, and many others, which are also using wood. But for that one, they quickly thought it would be for the government. But by then, we did not have Ministry of Water and Environment, we did not have Ministry of Energy, kind of it was Jeep trying to act like that. So they looked at charcoal production, which is also terrible, cutting a lot of trees, as you know. And having seen the three major activities which were finishing off the environment, they looked at what alternatives they would do, talk about, or the Ugandans to apply. So they quickly looked at what people could use to cook. They looked at briquettes, which are from the West. They looked at biogas. They looked at even solar, which they didn't know anything about, but they had heard about solar. And those are alternatives. We have now added many other alternatives. From what they had, we have added many, like the baskets up to electrical pressure cooker, because there are those which are very, very economical. And their number 5 was to say, because by that time we had a lot of trees, a lot of forests, a lot of shrubs. So whenever one would talk about tree planting, they would ask, how? We have a lot. So they wanted to be the last point to talk about after discussing with the people why there's scarcity of firewood, why are you buying firewood, why are you sometimes miss meals because of all that. So they said tree planting. And when they talked of tree planting, they had talked about the gardens. Because the tree is one of the purposes, and it could be used as agroforestry. And with agriculture, then they went into soil conservation, water conservation within agriculture, the small gardens for people in small places, all that. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So when did you join Jeep, and what has been your experience?
Oh my God. I've worked for Jeep for close to 30 years now. Yes.
What have been your achievements and the challenges during this long journey?
Because Jeep started on solar in various places for light, for refrigeration, for charging phones, for charging batteries in different communities. Many people started understanding and liking it, and they started buying solar panels to do something with it, and I think that is a great achievement.
On the low side, what have been the challenges?
The challenges, wherever, in many places where we installed solar for effective use, mismanagement, maintenance, has happened in many places. Yes, and that's a great loss. Yes.
I want you to take us through how you work with the other partners, private sector, government, the other CSOs, the media. How do you handle
We've worked with some funders who could afford paying money for the media, because the media has always been very expensive. And it's hard to reduce the money for activities for communities to use it for the media. Yet, awareness would be very, very effective when the media does the job. So in some projects we've had that, but unfortunately, other projects we've had could not afford it. The government, unfortunately, we thought we would be very close to the government. But we, some years back, discovered that I think it was bad to name our organizations non-government organizations. I think it meant, or it means very differently as far as the government are concerned. Because when you have meetings with them, you don't see them coming closer. However much you talk about the activities, which is their work, majorly for the communities of Uganda and Ugandan NGOs. So the collaboration have not been so good with the government. I think so far the Ministry of Water and Environment has done well. At least we are close and we have done some work with them. Ministry of Energy has been so good in discussions but not in implementation, which also is a problem. Other ministries probably.
What about other CSOs?
Other CSOs, majorly those in line with environment and agriculture, we have worked together. We have meetings, we plan together, we visit each other, we discuss issues. It has been, I think, good.
I noticed a lot of things here at JIP. I don't know whether JIP started here or you came here after some time, but just take us through the range of products available.
As we talked about energy, we used to have a pipe down there pumping water, but now we have a partner, Heifer International. When we joined them, or when we started the collaboration, fortunately, they came very strongly with a lot of good ideas concerning solar use, which we had already started, but not using them as big technologies. So when one enters, we would really see technology which are using solar totally, like solar dryers and water irrigation using solar. So, and we have solar for the fridge, we have solar for light, you know. So these technologies have added value to our activities, and we have already planned how much we should move to the community to disseminate, first of all, to create awareness, because people need to know, why should we go this, why should we do this? It is very important. Yeah.
I like that range of technologies here, but there are two problems. The quality of the technologies and then accessibility.
Accessibility.
If I have my money, can I really get them here in Uganda? And then of course...
Yes, you can get them here in Uganda. The materials are obtainable from Uganda. And the technical, like those materials for the solar dryers. And the metal worker. Is it on the open market or you make them here? No, it is, they are from abroad, but they are available in the industry area. We have shops which we know where we can get them. The metal work is done everywhere, as long as one does the right size, whatever you want. And the technical people are here. Yes. And the quality? The quality, as far as those are concerned, those are very good qualities.
If I buy my solar equipment, can it do 2-3 years without need for replacement?
As long as you don't now put the chicken and goats, you know, it's like a house. It's like the stoves we used to make. We could find the chicken laying eggs into the hole when they are not cooking. So maintenance is very important. Yes, but they can really help people. Of course, the cost is not easy, but they can use cooperatives and groups to achieve what they want.
What are the main challenges in promoting solar in agriculture especially?
Many people, when they see such huge technologies, they first draw back. They say, oh, it must be very expensive. And when one starts with, oh, that must be very expensive, then you know you have to do a lot to convince the person. And then they wonder, oh, how would we use it? How is it used? How is it kept for a long time? You know, I know that. Those are the issues we have to try and see that people get them right. Yes.
And on the challenge of poor quality, I'm sure you've suffered as well. How have you handled it?
We used to create awareness on solar lamps, small, for people to start with. If from $3 you can afford to buy a lamp of 15,000. So people tend to put forward the money issue and to believe whether it works. Because it took us time to explain to people that the sun gives out that energy and it could work. And then you could show the people, this is a lamp, this is the battery is inside, this is a small panel on top, and if you put, no, it cannot, you know. But later, it worked, yes.
What would you appeal to government as somebody who has been in this work
for a long time?
For a long time. What would be your main ask of government in the promotion, for the promotion
of these kind of technologies
in this country?
Now that this country says, or rather believes, agriculture is the major
backbone, the main backbone of our economy.
That statement only would have pushed the government further more into this kind of thing. They should, because they know Heifer International, the ACODE people are there, JIP is there, and many others. They should be able to tell, to look for these organizations. Now they talk about solar dryers, they talk about irrigation with solar, they talk about refrigeration with solar. They should come in strongly and wisely to see that they are pushing it further, even beyond we NGOs. Because for agriculture, definitely, you are telling people to grow coffee, you bring all sorts of coffee and this one grows very fast. You bring a lot of, you encourage them to plant a lot of crops, tomatoes, chili, whatever, maize. And the technologies they use are so poor, yet it is the agriculture is the backbone. In fact, you shouldn't have even mentioned the word backbone of the country. I don't see the efforts for all the years.
So specifically, what should the government do finally?
Should come in very, very strongly applying this technology, helping communities to have. The whole country should know about these technologies which can dry the crops which are for selling, for eating, the watering, irrigation. Because the season is, people suffer a lot with the dry seasons. There are some simple ones there which one can afford. Yes, and those big, huge ones could be taken on by those people who are rich. And they are there. Yes. So that we really say agriculture is the backbone of Uganda, and you could see the technologies used are really pushing agriculture as number one.
We thank you very much, Ms. Kiwanuka, for accepting to have this interview. We thank you for your views, for your insights, based on your long experience in this, and we hope that we'll have another chance for another interview.